Oh, Bill Burr. Bill Burr has been kind of not in the news lately, but making the rounds on social media. He's got a special that came out, and there are like two definite Bill Burr camps these days. There's Bill Burr rules. He's awesome, can do no wrong, still as funny as ever. And Bill Burr, fuck him up his ass, he's clown shoes. Those are your two basic camps of Bill Burr these days. Um, I've said in the past, even recently, that there are certain things Bill says that I still find funny. I don't think he's a funny person. I think he used to have um, a sense of humor. It's a difference between having a sense of humor and being funny, believe it or not. You could be funny as a stand-up comic and write funny jokes, and people might think that's a sense of humor, but I think to write effective jokes, you have to have a sense of other people's humor. You know? You could know what other people find funny and write to that. Other comics are very funny. They have sense of humor. They write to it and whatever. But I think there are a few that have a sense of other people's humor, and they're able to capitalize on that, write jokes, do stand up. I don't think Bill has a sense of humor. I don't think he's a funny guy. I don't think he's fun to be around. He was funny on the O&A days and stuff, but even then, it was very stressful when he would come in. He'd really kind of want to make his point, and he would do it in a joking way, but he was very serious a lot of times about stuff he was talking about. And yeah, I don't think he's got a sense of humor. I don't think he's got a sense of humor about himself. And I think he's just an angry guy. I think he's an angry man. And a liberal. He's a liberal. But people say he's not a liberal. I've seen him do jokes about liberal people, and I've said it before. No, he does jokes about liberal white women. That's where he gets this kind of reputation that he can goof on anyone. I'll goof on anyone, regardless of their political affiliation or ideology. Look, he's goofing on conservatives. Ah, ha, ha. Look, he's goofing on liberals. Ha, ha. And then you look closer and go, is he really goofing on liberals? Because all I ever see is him goofing on liberal white women and conservative white women. You know, white women. But that's the only liberals he'll ever go after. Everything else is your same run-of-the-mill. I'm a liberal comic. I'm going to shit all over conservatives and Trump and this and that. Same thing. Same thing. People that have a sense of humor can make jokes about anything, any ideology that someone might have, that you might have yourself. But Bill, So Bill has to go off. I guess this is from his Monday morning podcast. And he's got to go off about the Snow White movie. And look, I can even understand his take if it was honest, but it's not. Bill, in the clip you're going to hear, wants it to sound like if you have a problem with the Snow White movie, then you're kind of, you're being ridiculous. And of course, I get that. I get that. Because Bill isn't seeing the big picture here. That the Snow White movie, who gives a shit, is just another little piece in the cog of the machine that is spinning out propaganda bullshit, rewriting white history, all over white culture, if they even acknowledge that there is a white culture, stuff like that. So does Snow White as a movie matter? Of course not. Does the bigger scheme of things that it fits in matter? Yeah, it does. People don't like seeing white culture being replaced, twisted and turned into something else that it doesn't even resemble. White culture not getting credit for its amazing achievements, while other races accept the brilliance, the tag of brilliance, the notoriety that of things that came out of white culture. So yeah, that bigger part of the picture. I'm watching how many commercials a day where the white guy is the idiot and the brilliant black woman solves all the problems. You see movies, reboots of movies where it was a white guy, classic, iconic white character, and they got to make it black, or a woman, or some nonsense. You watch Netflix puts out this adolescence show about a teen boy who stabs a girl, a classmate, to death. And then you go, what was the real story? Oh, it was a black kid, a black teen that murdered a classmate. But they just twist and turn it in order to discredit white people. It's like, there's a little too much whiteness going on. Let's make Snow White a Hispanic girl, a woman of color, and then we'll do it that way. So while the movie in and of itself, Bill, isn't a big deal, the bigger picture of why the movie even exists means a little more than just a Snow White movie. And the way he tries to describe conservatives getting upset about it and being snowflakes about it is completely inaccurate. There wasn't any conservative right-wing person going, "What are you doing? What are you doing to Snow White?" We don't do that. Left-wing guys weep and moan and cry about shit that they don't agree with and, that they feel is racist. They'll moan and cry and whine about that and try to get the people fired and what have you. But the conservative guy he describes in his little thing here doesn't even resemble the truth of what he's trying to say here. I think I explained it pretty accurately as to why there was any problem with Snow White. Who gives a Yeah, Bill, who cares? It's Snow White. Doesn't matter. But millions of dollars went into it. Producers, directors, actors, all the people that make that movie went into it. That's a pretty big chunk of Hollywood economy. And why? To put out a little Snow White movie or for a little bit of propaganda mixed in there that we notice and we don't take kindly to. But we don't voice our opinion by whining and crying that Snow White isn't white. You just don't get it, do you, Bill? Well, here's Bill talking about it from his Monday podcast thing, show, whatever.
For conservative people to act like they're not the biggest babies also is hilarious.
The actress isn't white. There's no prince. They changed the story. What am I going to tell my kids?
Could you pause for a second there? Yeah. Who's saying that? Who acts like that, Bill? Liberal beta men act like that. When they want to say that, when they dug up the Black Lives Matter plaza in Washington, D.C., that's the guy we heard crying. What am I going to tell my kids about this racist administration? You didn't hear shit about men crying over the Snow White movie. They were like, yeah, just another instance of whites being replaced by blacks in iconic storylines or in the workplace or everywhere. That's the thing, Bill. Not the actual Snow White story. Bunch of snowflakes. Really? Look around. Tell me what pseudo men are crying about things happening in the world today. Crying over movies or the Black Lives Matter plaza being dug up or Elon Musk doing what they deem a salute. So who's crying, Bill? It's certainly not conservative men. All right, let's hear more.
The that my people get upset about. What am I going to tell my
My
kids?
people.
Well,
White
fucking
people?
talk around it the way you do we talk around the real history of this country. I think you can do that. You can talk around genocide and slavery. I think you can talk around a stupid movie.
My people. Oh, his white people. My people. He's got to look at white people like, oh God. He's got to look at white people and be embarrassed and feel guilt and shame for white people. Is that what he's talking about when he says my people? Oh,
About some broad who didn't exist.
don't
You
have
can't
to-
do
you don't have
that?
to start it up
Go
yet.
take him to go see Pinocchio.
Please pause. Thank you. Not done yet. I'll tell you when. So he just goes off about his people, and then he has to bring up, oh yeah, well, tell your kids the same way you tell them about genocide and slavery in this country. You off with that nonsense. You. How many white people, how many of my people died ending slavery? They always want to all over that part of it. Battlefields strewn with dead white bodies because of slavery. You. Genocide. Oh, what? The Indians? Sorry, that's the way it went back then. Sorry, they were murdering each other, and then Europeans came over here and said, yeah, I think we can make some good use of this property. It's what happened back in the olden days. We didn't have this sensibility that Bill has, where it's considered genocide. And look what genocide's going on all over the world. Not here in America. Now, not hundreds of years ago. Right now, genocides are going on. And where's Bill on that one? My people. Please. You've been deluded. Don't talk about your people. You've definitely deluded that tree. Oh, my God. Such a liberal, just a whining liberal. Everything he looks at is all nonsense. White people, white women, the patriarchy, white people. What? F off. You're a bleeding heart, sniveling liberal bag. Let's be real here. Oh, white people are white dudes are the snowflakes because they're crying over Snow White. Show me one instance of that, please. All right, let's hear the rest of this bag.
I don't like Pinocchio because that wooden puppet transitions into a real boy. First of all, I don't like trans people, and God only makes real boys, not some immigrant named Geppetto. What am I supposed to tell my kids?
Of course, he's got to sound like a Southerner, you know. Hey, what are you talking about? What? He's imitating people that just don't exist. There's one or two anomalies that they put out there, but these people aren't saying this over a movie. They're talking about the bigger issue, the issue you are 100% behind, the extermination of your people, the replacement of your people is what it is. Boy, you'll never hear that motherfucker talk about the bull going on in black communities. Holy mother of God. Chicago, once again, murder capital of the country. Anything? Anything, Billy? Anything about that? Anything about black communities being the top in the cities, in the big cities in America that are leaders in murder statistics? That the top 10 are all majority black cities, people of color cities. Anything? No? Didn't think so. Might get in trouble. Wife might have to tan your hide a little bit for speaking out. I did that. I got in trouble. I got fired. And then your wife said I was a persona non grata. So that happened. And what? I'm supposed to kiss your wife at this point? Sorry. I don't know. I know there's still some comics hanging on to your Mandalorian strings, hanging on to those Breaking Bad strings, hoping you could pull them up and get them a gig, so they won't say about you. But a lot of people are talking. A lot of people are talking. God, when they just start spouting that bullshit, infuriating. Right. And well, go see Bill Burr. Go get his special. Download his special, watch it, and you tell me. You tell me how awesome he is.